Hello 1028 subscribers. Earlier this week, we've been running our usual cold emails campaigns and got a reply from one of the prospects saying that they are interested and want to learn more. Well, I've been going back and forth with him for probably a few days and then hop on the call with an actual director of the company. They have a small committee inside their company that is specifically designed to see how AI can be applied in the business. It's like a small team inside the team. And it got me super excited because it's an ideal scenario when the company is looking for a solution. But the problem here is that we will compete with other, softwares and other agencies. So I decided to build them a free prototype and a free demo. If you watched any of my previous videos, you know that I usually charge for it from $300 to $600. But I know since it's a bigger company, there will be much more than 3 stages in the development. It's not like just the prototype, the final solution, and then like the recurring payments, the subscription. There will be probably like a few demos, a few prototypes, and then before like committing to the whole thing, they will introduce more people into the processes. I would need to present the solution to like different departments. Anyways, so I decided that we'll do it for free. And this is what I'm gonna show you right now. This is not a final solution and it's not even the final prototype. I'm gonna present it probably earlier next week. And guys, if we are going to sign them up, be prepared. I will share a lot of videos about their use cases. If it will be allowed, obviously we'll talk. I already said that I have a YouTube channel. So, but I know that there are a lot of interesting things that can be applied since most of their processes are pretty manual. Even though it's a pretty big company, but they are, very old school. They use an old school software, and that would be one of the problems to connect to like their current management system. But we'll see how we'll go about it. Essentially, this prototype is not fully, it's built on voiceflow, and then the email side is built on Make. So this is an insurance company that works with commercial insurance bonds. It's a pretty complicated business, and when I was talking to the prospect, for the person that would never worked with insurance agencies that size before, it could be pretty hard to understand what they're talking about. But I did, so I kinda understood their workflow. But again, the conversation was for like 15 minutes, I think. So I got what I understood, and then we'll go from there, I think. This is a sample spreadsheet that we're going to use for the sake of this demo. I didn't ask them to export any like database items from their current software since we haven't signed up any like NDA or contract. Essentially, this is a spreadsheet with like insurance bonds. It will look pretty similar. So it's like the participant name, the expiration date, the agent name, email, and bond amount. Obviously, there will be much more fields. But what they currently do is they export this from their softwares regularly, and they have 2 people that go through these things, find the bonds that are expiring soon, and following up with this client saying, hey guys, your bond is about to expire, so you need to keep an eye on it and do something. So they still do it manually. And I was pretty surprised that one of the people in the team is spending like 20-30 hours per week just for this specific task. That's why I mentioned that we're gonna save like $60K for this client, since this kind of the amount of money that they would pay for a year to this employee. I don't think that they'll fire him, since eventually it's still the human touch will still be needed in terms of the improvement. We can obviously automate everything and send the emails automatically, but at least for the start, we usually like to put the emails in the draft folder and then let their salespeople or like account managers to approve it manually. Okay, so I'll show you the setup. Let me actually go to a mirror and show you the structure. We have two intents: analyze the file and send emails. Again, for the sake of this prototype, I think we will add another one for before we present the solution. It's going to be the HubSpot connection. Obviously, they don't use the HubSpot. They use much more or much older software, but I just want to show them how it can be connected to the CRM. So, but like I didn't want to wait for the integration and show you guys the solution, since I knew that you'll be pretty excited to see this one. Plus, like I have quite a few videos where I connect like the actual CRMs to the assistants. So we have two intents: analyze the file and send email. When the person wants to analyze the file, we are asking to upload the file, then uploading it to a temporary storage, and then asking for like user to ask the question about the file and providing a response back. Okay, so this is one intent. And the second one is send an email. So let's say when a person wants to send an email, we're asking, okay, so who do we want to send the email to? Then we are providing a conversation memory as a context, as well as the temporary database. Since before, for this, again, for the sake of this prototype, before sending this email, we will ask the prospect to like upload the file. So we will actually, ask AI to analyze both of these things, like the conversational memory as well as the temporary storage, and then send a request to make, and then send an email. Okay, so let me actually go through this chat to show you how it works. How are you doing? Just the regular conversation. Then we can say something like, I want to analyze the file. Then let's say it will ask us to upload the file, obviously, that we want to analyze. So let's upload the spreadsheet from here. And let's say, what is the bond amount for this customer? We can ask something like that. What is the bond amount for this customer? Something like that. So let's see, it's 133927. So let's see what reply we're gonna get. Okay, so 133927. Now, if we say something like, I want to send an email. Okay, so now it says, who would you like to send the email to? So let's say that we want to send the emails to all of the prospects whose bonds expire, let's say like September. I want to send emails to all of the prospects whose bonds expire this September. Again, I specify this because there are in the spreadsheet, there are like 2025, and on the back end, I also use the Perplexity API to understand what is the current today's date. Okay, so got it, please process. Okay, so I forgot to trigger this automation, so let's actually go back and see if it was triggered successfully or not. Because the idea is that when we are going through this intent, send the email, it should send information here. Okay, now if we go and check this out. Okay, so this is the info and today's date. Yeah, so I think the result was because it inputs the JSON in front and not just cleared JSON. We just need to work with some prompt engineering to make it like pretty clear, to make it like without the actual JSON. Anyways, so let me show you how it works on the backend. And then again, it's pretty raw. I don't want to waste your time to just refining this thing to be perfect, because I am planning to record. I'm pretty sure that we'll convert them, and like I'm gonna record more videos on this topic and what solutions we built for them. Maybe the actual prototype with the CRM, maybe with some information from their database. If they agree, again, after we sign up the NDA, and if they agree, that I'll share this information on my YouTube channel. Anyways, so this is the simple start, just setting up the voiceflow API key, which is not super necessary for this specific sake, and then the bot description that we're going to use as a system prompt. So I usually set everything up in the variable so that we can just reuse it and not copy and paste all these things. So this is my like simple like loop, introduction loop, where we're asking AI to greeting the user with a short like sentence. Then we are updating the memory. By the way, I mentioned it in all of my tutorials. This is a custom function. By the way, guys, if you want to get, obviously, if you want to get all of my templates as well as this one for free, it's like totally free in my resource hub. It's here. First link in the description, you'll get access and you can just download this template as well as my make scenario and like use it for your project. So there's a memory function. If you download my file and upload it to your project, it will be automatically updated, I think. Set. Okay, so here we provide the last utterance, custom memory, and last response. So we are mapping these variables. Essentially, like last utterance is the utterance of the user when we say like hi. This is our utterance. When the bot replies, "Hi, how are you?" This is the last response. So we're saving like utterances and responses into one variable called custom memory so that we can reference it further and then answer the user question. So when we say hi, how are you, it was looping us inside this specific flow. Okay, so now then when we are asking that we want to analyze the file, this is the intent. If you go to the intents, we have two intents: analyze the file as well as the send email. We are using the LLM classification, not the NLU, but you should test it out. From my experience, LLM works the best, especially with 3.5 Sonnet. So then when a user says, okay, I want to analyze the file, we're saying, okay, so your goal is to ask the user to upload the file. You can like technically do it manually and say, hey, here, hey, like, hey, upload the file, please, something like that. But I usually do everything through the response AI so that it's more dynamic. Then we are asking the user to upload the file. And this is like kind of the most important step, is the custom actions. Please pay attention. If you're not technical, no worries. I already have a tutorial on the custom actions on this channel, but I'll explain everything right now. So essentially there is no way to upload the file currently natively, like to use like native here functions using in voiceflow. They will add it very soon, I'm pretty sure. But for now, we need to use the custom actions. So custom actions are essentially like different tools that you can add in order to like add additional functionality to your agent. So here's how it works. We have this is, as you can see, quimple.agency/testing2. So this is like my agency website is built on Framer, and I created a separate page testing2 for just for the sake of this prototype. And here, this is like a very simple page with an embed, and in the embed we have this code. Okay, so this is the code. It's not a simple embed because obviously you can just publish this thing and embed it like that, but this is the code that will give us an ability to trigger this specific custom actions. Again, so you have two choices. First, either go watch any of my previous videos where I talk about custom actions, or I will have this specific script in my resource hub. So here's what you do. You Control-A, Control-C, you go to Claude. Better to use Claude, not ChatGPT. You go to Claude, paste it there, and say, hey Claude, I am trying to use a custom actions in voiceflow. This is the script from one of the tutorials. Please help me to embed it on my website. Essentially, like here, you just need to change the the project ID. Yeah, so here, project ID. So you just change the project ID, if I remember correctly, and that's it. That's it. It should work. So the project ID is in the settings, project ID. So you copy it and paste it there. So it should work. If it's not working, again, go and like ask Claude for help. So like you do the custom action. This is the extension that you need to use exactly. This is the exact name that you need to use. Skip this part, path, some JavaScript in order to save the information from the CSV file to data variable. And there is, I don't remember correctly, there's some guy on YouTube. He actually, I got this script original from him. His name is whatever, on F, you can just type on YouTube, like talk to your CSV and you'll see it. But again, it's not necessary. I provide you everything. So you have the data that like this code saves all the information from the CSV into the data variable. And then we can essentially like reference this thing. Okay. Now, this is like, then we are asking, okay, so the user just uploaded the file. So now ask him what exactly he wants to know about this file. And this is what we are asking here. So we just uploaded the file. Great news. You uploaded the file. So what specific information you want? Now we're asking this question, and again, updating the memory so that we have it. Pay attention. So like this, and this, all of these things already saved in custom memory variable. Now we are calling the Perplexity API. So like you can use other models that have an internet access, but we usually use Perplexity. Pretty simple. So you just register an account, maybe connect your credit card. I'm not sure if it's necessary. And then, like just this endpoint, the content type, provide your API key. Obviously I will delete my API key, so don't try to use it. And then this is like this is the model of the Llama online, I think. Yeah, so it's online. And like the system prompt is just that you're a helpful assistant, and the user prompt is what's the today's date. So if we call it now, we should receive the today's date. So where is it? Date, no, it's not this one. Today's date is Sunday, August 11th. Yeah, so then obviously we are using the JSON stringify. Again, since here, like the information that we received here, where is it? After the JavaScript in data, it's not stringified. So we cannot like reference it, and AI cannot read it properly. So that's why you're just like using the stringify thing. And then like we have a prompt. The prompt this is called master prompt. The goal of this prompt is to analyze the last user utterance. In our case was, what was it? What is the bond amount for the customer? So it analyzed this prompt, right? Then like we are specifying what is the last, analyze the last user utterance. We are specifying what is the utterance, specifying it in tags. Sorry. And this is the new thing that we started to implement instead of just using, okay, like this is the utterance, that's it. We are putting it like inside the tags so that it's easier for AI to understand the context. And then output rules, be professional. So all these things, the guidelines, today's date. And here, as you can see, when we are like calling the Perplexity AI, Jesus Christ, okay. Sorry. When we are calling this API, we're capturing the response and saving it in the date variable. So we are referencing this variable here. Today's date is, August 11th. Knowledge-based context, and this is like stored in data from here. So like it analyzes the CSV, save all the information from the CSV in the data variable, and then so like we can reference it here. And the conversation history with the user is just the custom memory variable, right? So from here. So it's like updating all the information in this variable and updating all the history. So now this is the master prompt, and AI has everything that it needs to respond to the user. So it has his last utterance, it has the date, it has the knowledge-based context, as well as the conversational history. One thing I want to mention, it is very expensive in terms of the tokens. It's like super expensive, especially if you're going to use like GPT-4o. First, I'm using this just for the sake of this prototype, obviously. I'm not sure which one we're going to use, because I was testing it with the mini, so it was not super sharp. So I'm not sure. We will, obviously, when we develop the whole thing, we'll like do some tweaks here and there. But even if it is, that expensive, I'm still gonna do that because we will charge this client monthly retainer, and it saves them huge amount of time. So like if I charge them like $100 bucks additionally for the token usage, it's not super it's very doable, right? So it's not a lot compared to the value that we're gonna provide. Okay, so this is kind of the master prompt and like capturing the response, and then we can loop up and ask any questions about this specific CC. Now, when we said that we want to send an email, AI says, okay, so who do you want to send the email to? And we said, okay, so we want to send the emails to all of the prospects whose bonds expire in September. And since we already uploaded the file and the information from the file is already in the data variable, we're asking, okay, so your goal is to output all information about specific people from the knowledge base. You must include all the information about them. So I was like trying to say, so that let's say if we're asking just to output the information about like Kim, just include all the information here from the amount, the agent name, expiration date, so all of these things. And the goal was, when we are asking to output all the prospects that bonds expire in September, to output everyone from here, right? So input all of this information and pass it to Make. So essentially, like, we are doing the simple API call to Make using the webhook. This is the scenario. Let's go back. So this is the scenario. This is the custom webhook. We copy it here, paste it here, content type. And then for the info, so we're like passing info is info emails. So, and this variable, like the info, in the ideal world, as you can see, it didn't work. It didn't work. And okay, so let's actually see. Bonds. Where is it? Bonds demo. So yeah, so it had an error. Like, if you can see here, info, it passed the info, today's date, and like some information about the prospects, right? Just in one paragraph. Then we're asking AI to, okay, so please, okay, so where is it? Message, here is the message. Like, the goal is to analyze the user information and structure it in the JSON format. Yeah, so you can tell me, okay, Eugene, you can ask AI here to output the information in JSON format and not just as some random format, so that we like okay, yes, sure, like you can do that. Again, that's why it's still not working. We'll see like what is the best way, but I'm sure you're aware, if you ask this question, you're aware of how to make it better, right? So like, you can either ask AI to structure the JSON format here and just to verify it here, or maybe, provide it as a simple paragraph, and then inside this GPT model to ask AI to like output in the JSON format, just some output rules so that it's an actual JSON format. And the problem is here, never mention JSON or this in your output, right? And this is the information we are also, this is the like information tags. So I am asking, please don't use like this specific thing, but it still did. As you can see, it still did. So like, we need to play around with it. Obviously, you can like the easiest one on like, you can, I think, specify what output type you would want in the advanced settings. Right, so the output, where is it? In the text response format, JSON object. So you can like play around with it differently. So then the parse JSON. So the idea is that when we have this information, right? So when we have the JSON format, we can just parse JSON and structure it. Okay, so it should be somewhere. Let me see. Should be somewhere maybe here. I want to just find now. I want to find a successful case so that you see how it works. Sorry. Okay. Customer message bundle. No, it's not this one. Okay, so maybe this. Yeah, probably this one. Yeah. No. Anyways, yeah. So I think you got the idea. So like, we are passing all the chunks of data into the make, then we are trying to like structure it down into different parameters, and then obviously we will use, I'm not sure if we're like, I'm even going to show this thing, the final thing with the email to the prospect, because again, the main part is just to analyze the file and retrieve information from the file, and then this is the easy part. So like in the next step would be obviously to connect like the Gmail and like send an email to this prospect, and then ask AI, okay, so AI, please like craft an email to each of these prospects based on their expiration date, and ask them to like to do something with the bonds and log into their accounts. So yeah, it's pretty understandable, I think, from this stage. Okay guys, so again, all this templates, this one as well as this one, like in terms of the code, the embed code and the scenario, will be available in my resource hub for free. So go check it out. Thanks for watching. Peace.